I would now like to introduce our next speaker for this afternoon, Mr. Juha Asanti, Vice President, Regional Offices, Cadmatic Software Solutions, who will be speaking on the topic Digital Twins Driving Digital Transformation. With over 10 years of experience at Cadmatic, which is a leading software provider helping plant and refinery owners and operators, as well as EPCs and suppliers, to digitalize their assets, currently in charge of operations in Russia, China, Middle East, India, and Southeast Asia, and is having the privilege to see how the digitalization and digital revolution is processing at full speed around the world at the moment. He has been involved in numerous projects across the world and helped customers in streamlining their operations and taking full advantage of the vast number of possibilities that is offered by digitalization. So over to Mr. Juha Asanti.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice introduction and good afternoon, everyone. There we go. So without further ado, I will jump into the topic, which is very interesting in my opinion, very close to my heart. So I'm very enthusiastic when talking about, let's say, digitalization all in all, or digital twins and topics around this subject. Today, I will let's say shortly walk you through this digital twins, what it means, and what are the benefits of using digital twins in different kind of projects. So the topic of my, let's say, this presentation is digital twins driving digital transformation, and basically it is how digital twins can, and in my opinion definitely should, be the enabling and driving force in let's say going digital. So as we all know, so there's a big hype, let's say, around this going digital, all that, and in my opinion, so it's all for a good reason. So there are obvious benefits for companies and stakeholders of this kind of projects when using the let's say advantages what the digitality or digital solutions provide us with. So very briefly about the company. Mavis, can you confirm that it's the slides are visible still? Yeah, just okay. So what is Cadmatic as of today? So we are a global company, globally operating company in practically all continents, and we have around 250 people nowadays, plus variety of resellers and partners in different regions. The biggest offices what we currently have are in Europe and then in India, where in Thane and Goa. So we have all the time, let's say, increasing offices. So let's say about the topic, typical challenges in today's projects. I'm sure all very familiar to you, but still I will let's say walk us through shortly. According to statistics, so project professionals involved in these EPC projects, so according to them, so 70 to 80% are partially failing, and by this I mean that either scheduling or budgeting fails to some extent. So they are not able to, let's say, meet all the targets of the projects. And why it is so well, obviously there are several reasons. Projects are getting more and more complex all the time. There's the investment frame is getting shorter. There's a pressure for higher quality, shorter scheduling, lowering budget, smaller margins, etc. So this, together with, let's say, not always available resources and all the time, let's say, in a way, increasing number of stakeholders means more complex projects, more communication, more data available that should be used, and so forth. So in essence, so it is crucial to have a kind of good collaboration, which or let's say sharing information in a project, not just, let's say, between individuals and teams or let's say departments, but also between companies, authorities, and then also let's say organizations, let's say across national boundaries. So all in all, so you need to have a access to data, to information which is available real time in order to do better decisions and have better project execution. So digital twin, what it means, so as it was said, mentioned in the introduction, so there are different, let's say, understandings about the concept. So what we mean by digital twin might be to some extent different than what our customers, for instance, how they are understanding the topic. But in a nutshell, I would say that a digital twin is basically a copy to some extent of a physical asset. So you have a physical asset, and then you have a virtual slash the digital copy of this asset. But it's important to understand that it's not just like kind of picture or 3D model of this asset, but what is actually even more important is that you have all the data connected to this digital twin. So that it's when all the data, all the information is connected and accessible from this digital twin model, so that's when you get the most out of it. Digital twins can be used for different purposes, let's say throughout the whole life cycle of a project, starting from the very early, let's say, design and feed phase, through engineering, procurement, construction, commissioning, and then when handing it over to owner or operator, so it can bring huge benefits when used in operations and maintenance, as we have, or let's say what we are seeing every day when we are discussing with our clients who are taking the advantage of this technology. About the creation of the digital twin, so that how you get the maximum out of it is that you start to kind of taking into use or building this kind of digital twin from the very early beginning of the project. So that is when you are doing the design, 2D design, 3D design of the project, of the plant. So you get all the let's say design information. Then you connect all the, let's say, project related data to it, like for instance project management system and ERP and document this project planning and so forth. All these, when they are connected from the beginning, so that's when you get the maximum out of it. And in this picture, so trying to simplify that basically how you create a digital twin is that you have the 3D model, and then you combine it with the database, different kind of databases, within the company or can be also outside the own company. Some of the use cases and what I'd like to remind is that only sky is the limit when you are kind of building your let's say digital twin, and when you're going through your digital journey, because the kind of opportunities are huge, and basically there's no, let's say, two companies using digital twin in an exactly same way. So always companies can and should actually build the digital twin around their let's say business models and applications. But some of the, let's say, crucial elements of digital twin so are, first of all, so you need to have a kind of a easily accessible web-based system, which can be basically accessed from regardless of the physical location. So you need to be able to access the model, the digital twin in a fast and easy way. Then you have documents integrated or accessible, so you are in this digital twin, so you have access to all project related documents with just a simple click of a piece of file, for instance. Then you basically you have integrated these external systems, what I mentioned already, ERP, documents management, just to name a few. Let's go further. Searching information has to be in a way easy, so that instead of going through all the different, let's say, documents or applications, so you can simply use simple search functionalities and type in a keyword, and then it gives you all the data regarding this specific object, for instance, which you are searching for. Construction sequencing and constructability is one example of use case. So you can easily visualize construction sequences, how the model is constructed. And by using, for instance, different color coding like here in the picture. So it's very easy for project stakeholders to see how the plant is actually constructed. And in connection to seeing the material availability, so you can see you can have a kind of a link or integration to the warehouse material management, so you can see what is available and what not for the time being. Then about this constructability, when integrated with constructability analysis systems, so you can have prefabrication analysis, for instance, and yeah, this construction progress monitoring. Following progress with mobile devices. So what is, let's say, essential into today's world is that you are not basically fixed to a like laptop or PC, but you have all this information available in also on your smartphone or tablet and these kind of devices. So you can see all the time what has been constructed, what's being delayed, and so forth. And in this picture, for instance, with the pink color, so we can see which pipes have been installed already. Yellow ones for which the pressure has been tested. Green ones are approved, and so forth. But this is just an example. So basically, you can and you should be able to define your own categories for all these. Then when combined with point cloud, so you can actually see how the real model is as compared to the engineered model. So you can see if and what kind of differences there are in this engineering model and as built, so that you can also then kind of do reverse engineering and change the engineering model so that it's up to date with the real plant. One use case is to use this for, let's say, communication between the stakeholders in the project. So at the site, so instead of making a kind of pen and paper notes of what should be changed and modified in the model, or writing emails or making phone calls to different people, so you can use your mobile device and easily put your comments into this digital twin model. Make screenshots or make comments, and immediately you can send this to different project stakeholders for them to do those changes. Approval and commissioning. Next. This I mentioned already, using the mobile device for all this is essential nowadays. And yes, sharing knowledge. Then one, let's say, still a kind of new thing is this using augmented reality or virtual reality in combination with the models. So this digital twin, let's say, technology has to be able to support AR, VR technology and VR glasses, so that you can put on those glasses and that will basically take you on the site. So there, as we can see in this picture, so the guy is wearing those glasses and he's actually, as he would be in the real plant, although it's only being kind of designed still. So basically, how Cadmatic addresses this issue is that we have been developing this kind of digital twin concept on technology for over 10 years already. As a result, so we have numerous, let's say, applications around the topic nowadays. So basically, we are supporting all these, what was previously mentioned, these tablet devices and mobile phones and PCs, tablets, virtual glasses. All these different kind of devices we are supporting, but the point is that they all are basically connecting to the same model. So that is the kind of a, let's say, definitely an advantage. So basically, we are supporting with our technology all what is available at the market, in the market at the moment, and numerous clients are using these different applications, like Saudi Aramco is a good case example, which is also mentioned in the introduction. So they are taking the full advantage of this technology, along with other clients in India, in Middle East, and other parts of the globe. Basically, our concept is the single source of truth, means that from within the 3D application, or 3D view, so you can access basically whatever, let's say, widely used database, regardless of, let's say, for instance, which design application or platform the 3D model was originally used for. So it can be something else than our own design application as well. So we can visualize that as well, and then build a digital twin around that model. Yes, so that's, I think I have more or less used my time. So thank you for this opportunity to walk me through this, let's say, exciting concept.
Mavis, we take one or two questions right now,
We are
or
two.
we wait for.
Yeah, it's your call, Mr.
Yeah, I
Pranjal,
think
whether you want to
just
take.
a couple of quick
Oh,
questions we can take right now.
sure.
Anyway,
That
I
will be.
think one of the questions which has come from the audience, Mr. Juha, that how do you handle multi-CAD environment? You showed the slide; it shows all Aviva and Tekla and Intergraph and DS and all that. But how do you handle that?
Easily.
Hey.
So by this I mean that in practice, so what we have is that we have how would I say, converters or adapters to all these commonly used applications, close to 10 or 15 nowadays. So different applications. So it's very typical, actually, I would say, a project nowadays that you have 4, 5, 6 or more different applications used by different, let's say, project parties, project stakeholders. One is using Cadmatic, the other one can be using Aviva, third one is using Tekla, fourth one is using something else. So, and you need to have good, let's say, technology to support this kind of multi-CAD design processes, multi-CAD environment, and we are equipped with that. So that's very, let's say, typical situation among our clients nowadays, that they use different platforms. No issue.
Yeah, but what do? You upload a model in a CAD neutral format into your system, or what do you do?
Basically, well, depends on the use case of the and the client. So typically what we do is that we take this model into our, let's say, Cadmatic platform. So we have those tools to import that, and then we take that into our model. And we take the second platform, second application, again, by using a different adapter or different exchange of our model. So in the end of the day, so what you have is one model in a way, in one format.
Okay. Second question is, how big a size of a project you have handled? How many million objects, or
so
a full refinery or a full petrochemical plant? It will have lakhs and millions of objects.
So far we have not reached the limit. So we have not yet, at least, and I don't think it will happen either. So that we have not had a such case where we would not have been able to use the or build the digital twin due to, let's say, project size, physical size, or number of components. So
what is typically the import time for a fairly sized petrochemical plant, say, or import time?
Yeah, in the size of
I have a Aviva model of a plant design.
Yeah, can be hundreds of megabytes or gigabytes.
Yeah, so
it's not an issue because our technology can let's say simplify and make it such that it's in the end of the day it's still manageable.
Yeah, so the upload times are short. That's what you are saying.
Exactly. No issue.
Okay, that is one question. Now, one more question has just come up. What is Cadmatic's offering for digital twin and digitalization for process industry? I think this is a more general question. Maybe we can take it towards the end. One more question. If you don't have 3D to start with, what do you do?
Well, one option is to use point cloud technology.
Okay.
So
I'm saying initial phases of the project where you are still developing the 3D. You only have a project schedule and you have other documents, but you don't have the 3D.
Yeah. So then you basically use those whatever you have and start doing the digital twin around that. So it does not need to. You don't need to have the 3D model to begin with.
Okay, good. I think we'll come back with more questions later. We can start. It's 4:15, so maybe we can start the second session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Juha.